going on? Hey everybody, happy Monday, Tuesday, whatever day it is. So I wanted to come at you today. First of all, I hope you're having an incredible day, changing some lives today. And if you haven't yet joined the top bonus challenge, it's coming up. I'll tell you about it at the end, but I want to talk to you about this really crazy topic about if you want to be an A-lister, you got to do this one thing. And here's why I'm even bringing this topic up. So I just got off a call with a good friend of mine, and he leaves me a message after we got off the call, and he said, I totally forgot to tell you this, and I want your advice. So he said, what's up? How you doing? So he said, you looking at my hat, my glasses, all of it? I know. My Hawaii shirt, Paia, Maui, pretty cool. It's one of my favorite beaches in the world. How you doing, Lack? And so he says, so he's hanging at this event this past weekend, and he went out with this kind of, I don't know, A-level influencer in our world, suppose maybe B-level influencer, and I don't know, maybe A, I'm not sure. And this girl tells him, she says, listen, you want to know how to be an A-lister or an A-level influencer? If you want to be an A-lister, you got to do this one thing. And he's like, what is it? And hey, Bill, what's going on? He said, you've got to hang with A-listers. And I thought that was really interesting and obvious at the same time. And then he asked, so you do this really well, Joni, how do you do this? And so I just got done leaving him a 5-minute message, because you know I don't say anything short and concise. So on how to do this. And I thought I'd go live with you guys and talk to you about how to hang with A-listers or 1%ers. If you want to hang with an A-lister and be an A-lister, a 1%er, you've got to hang with them, right? Like if you want to be it, you've got to be around them. And so how do you just get there, right? Like how do you get there? So a lot of us are not exactly, like a lot of you are not where you want to be yet, right? You're not quite where you want to be, but you may have that vision of what that looks like. And there are people who are already there. There are people who are already at that level, right? And one of the things that I said to my friend Steve was, I said, hey, first of all, it's absolutely true that if you want to hang with A-listers, or if you want to be an A-lister, you've got to hang with A-listers. And I said, the way to do it is, number one, you can't differentiate yourself from it. You can't put yourself, see, most people will say, I'm here in the A-lister or the 1%er, let's just call it, see, we use the word A-lister, influencer, it was an A-lister influencer or 1%er, let's just call it. So, first of all, I got to show you, check out this house behind me. I had a feeling I was next to it, I felt the energy. It says 1111, just a really beautiful home. And that's the address. So there's something really beautiful about that number spiritually. Like it's a really powerful number, 1111. I just love how they did that. Super cool. What a cool address. And so in order to be a 1%er, in order to be an A-lister, you got to hang with them. And so how do we just get to that level? Because you guys know, like the top of the top, they don't even want to talk to you, right? They're like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to have anything to do with you. You're not even going to be here next week. You're not going to be around, right? And so the first key is to stop putting yourself on a different pedestal, like on a lower pedestal. So oftentimes what we do is we put the other person up here. We put the person who's performing at a higher level up here, and we put ourselves down at a lower level, right? We look up to them like, oh, if I could only be that person, if I could only have what they have, then I would... then at some point, like, you know, you differentiate yourself from that person. Check it out, by the way. Look at this view. Isn't that cool? Downtown Seattle. So pretty. It's a cool little lookout. I won't get you. And hold on, let me turn it around. Okay, so the whole key is, number one, is that you've got to not put yourself beneath them. And there's a whole concept of worthiness that goes around this. I'm actually bringing somebody into the 1% life, onto the 1% life this week. I think we're interviewing tonight or tomorrow, on who talks about worthiness in sales and why we don't get to where we want to be because we don't believe we're worthy of that. And it's so deep. It's so deep. I actually, like, people were having such big shifts. It was such a powerful training that I'm actually putting it in the top level bonus or the top bonus challenge so everybody can see it, because it was like, what? Like how he described worthiness levels and how when we're talking to a tour, we elevate them and we de-elevate, what's the word? We diminish who we are. And so how do we get our level of worthiness back up to where theirs is, and so that we can actually pitch with conviction, we can pitch with confidence, so that they don't feel energetically that there's a disconnect, right? And it's a real thing. And so we're going to talk about this concept in particular. And so what I told him was that the first thing that I do, sorry for the spin around, is that I never elevate them in my mind. Like, I know last weekend, some of you guys know, I was hanging with the world heavyweight boxing champion, the Olympic gold boxing medalist. David Hay is the world champion, and then this other guy who's the Olympic gold medalist. I was in a room with them for 2 days, about to get sprinklers on me, as well as 7 top poker World Series champions. And I'm interviewing another one of those guys this week who won $8.1 million. And we were just texting last night back and forth. And he said, hey man, you're so funny. You don't want to put this shit off. I go, dude, world champions don't push shit off. We get shit done, right? And he was just laughing. But my point is that you don't want to put them on a pedestal. They're no different than you. Somebody who's achieved whatever success is not different than you, only in that they think that they have achieved something different than you. So in order to get there, the first thing that you have to do is to own that outcome first. You have to own the destination before you can get to the destination. So you have to own being a 1%er. You have to own being a millionaire. You have to own being number one in your store. You have to own that outcome, that identity, before you can ever get there. And if you don't own it, you'll never get there, because you'll create a gap between you and that place that you want to be. And it will always be a gap, because it'll always be something that you aspire to do in the future and you hope you can do someday, and it would be nice, but I'm not worthy of it. I'm not capable of it. I'm not there. And so one of the things, like I said, that I do is I don't differentiate myself from these people. There was a world heavyweight boxing champion sitting next to me, and I was like, dude, I feel like I'm kind of ignoring you, like I'm giving you the cold shoulder the other night, because there was somebody else I wanted to talk to at dinner, and I didn't know this guy had 1 million followers, nor did I really care. It's like, he's no different than me. He's no different than me, right? And that's the first step to really getting to that A-lister game, that A-level player game, is a player level, whatever, you know what I'm saying, is by owning the identity first and really knowing, who do I have to be? What do I have to think? What beliefs do I need to have? What stories do I need to tell myself in order to have the outcome that identity has, in order to have the outcome that person has? And when you can really get clear on those stories, those beliefs, the skills and capabilities that you need to have, you work backwards instead of working from the front forwards. And you start developing that. And that's really key. So that was one thing that I said. And the other thing is really beginning to program yourself at the subconscious level. And that was what I was just talking to you right now, is a little snippet of some of the training that I give inside the Top Bonus Challenge. And it's all about subconscious reprogramming. You've got to be the person in order to do the work and have the outcome, or you'll never get what you want. So that was kind of my thoughts on that, right? Like, if you want to be the top 1%, you want to be number one, you gotta hang with those people who are number one. So how do we do that? We got to get out of our environment, and we have to get to a place that we attract that to us, and attracting that to you is the key. So not differentiating where you are now to where you want to be, meaning it's just right here. Like, I'm always like, who am I attracting in my life today that's going to help me get to the next level? Who is on their way to me right now? By the way, if you guys know somebody else who needs to hear this, Diego, you're really annoying right now. Jeez. Then tag them below. Just put their name below and they'll get notified. It really helps for us to reach more people, so I appreciate that. What's going on, you guys? You guys are awesome. So, what's the other thing? Yeah, anyways, I think that's it. Just owning it, not differentiating where you are to where you want to be, and putting it away from you, outside of you, and just having it right here within you. Like, I already got that. I already know I'm gonna be on stages with Oprah. I already know I'm gonna be on stages with Tony Robbins. And I don't say that because I'm like, oh, I'm so cool. No, I say that because I know that's where I'm gonna be. And I gotta own it now for it to manifest. I have to own it now, the outcome, for it to, sorry, my clients are blowing me up. Stop it. I have to own it now for it to ever come into my life. And I can't put them on a pedestal like, oh, Tony, you're so great. Yeah, you're great. But I'm not any different in my mind. And when you cannot feel any different than the person with the outcome that you desire to have, when you cannot put them on the pedestal and you can own your worth, as Satori Mateo talks about. Can't wait to bring him onto the 1% Life podcast this week, you guys. And he'll also be inside the challenge again. You'll get to see a 2.5 or 2 hour training that we did with Satori. It's amazing, on how to increase your sales, by just really owning your worthiness and up-leveling your worth game, self-worth game. It's everything. And there's a lot of other stuff he talks about as well. But yeah, you guys are amazing. Hope you're well. Where are you signing in from? What beautiful city, state, country around the world. And let me know if you have any questions. By the way, if you're joining the Top Bonus Challenge, let us know. We'd certainly love to have you. It's starting very soon. You can go to toplevelbonus.com. We've had people joined 4 months in a row now. This is month 4 we're doing it. Some rock star A-listers there. That's how you can get around A-listers, is be in the environment that they are and where they're willing to share what they know and pump everybody up, which is usually outside the workspace. Because, I can be kind of competitive and cutthroat. So yeah, we got some great people in there. And excited to launch month 4 or whatever month it is now. Awesome, rock stars. You guys are amazing. Hope you're well. How's everyone's month doing, by the way? You guys are so quiet. How's your month doing? Hey, Dina. So fun hanging out with you in Vegas. Who's having a good month? Anybody? What day are we on right now? 16th? If you're having a good month, write good. If you're having a bad month, write bad. If you're just getting started, write getting started. And I'll come at you guys with some trainings to really help you pump that up this week as well. So I'm curious. All right, rock stars. Hey, that's all for me. Signing out. Gonna go take this monkey who is just hot and irritated at me. Take him to the doggy store.